players go.
Hey, congrats on the win. For you, Asia, you've talked a lot about how important the defense is for you guys, how important communication is. A lot of switching on and off the ball for y'all tonight. Just from your view, how did you feel the defense was?
Okay, 72 points is pretty good. So I feel like we're pretty good on the defensive end. Yeah, we held them to 20. Our third quarters are a little shaky, and we kind of held them to 20 in the third quarter. So that's pretty good. But we still have work to do. We're not perfect. But at the same time, I'm very pleased at our defensive mindset today. And we're just going to keep growing. Keep what Becky always says, bottle it up and open it when we need it. And that's going to be the next game. So I think on the defensive end, we did a decent job.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. See
I
you.
didn't get to hear any Tip Hayes comments.
No.
She talked about her double.
Next time.
Get that knee up.
I know.
In compression. I'm gonna send Jericho over here.
Matthew, do you have a question for Becky?
I can start. Becky, congrats on the win. I wanted to know what was the reason for sit-ups? You solicited as a rest. What did you see where you thought you needed to rest Jackie tonight, and getting a performance like this from Tip in her replacement? How important are performances like this gonna be from the others as we go down the stretch here?
I mean, for Jackie, it was, she wanted to play. I wouldn't let her. Because sometimes these athletes, you have to help save them from themselves at times. And I know she had some aches and pains. And I just thought the rest, because she really didn't get any, over the break. And then when you come back already kind of dinged up a little bit, it starts to compound. So I made it a executive decision to sit her. She's not happy. She's still not happy with me. But that's all right. We'll get through. And there just isn't another time to get her rest. So I felt like this was the only time where, we get the 2 days after Dallas. She gets today and she's going to get tomorrow to try to get some of her burst back. She's hurting, and I just said, sit. That's all that was.
Two for you, if I can. Headed into this game, you were asked about the possibility of clinching a playoff berth, and you were like, I do not care. We just need to focus on the game. Does that perspective change at all now that it's done and out of the way? Is there any situation where you care about the standings?
I mean, not really. I mean, we have been better on the road than we have at home. I mean, if you want to look at, keep it positive. I mean, I feel just like we have so much better basketball in front of us. And so we have to pull and grind and execute. And, it's been a climb this year. Like I told them, y'all want to get on the mountaintop, but there's no chairlift. You got to climb. And so when we're taking steps, and to me, it's not so much about the losses. It's can we learn from them and do better? And we have to have carryover when there's correction. So, I mean, great. We're in the playoffs. Great. But I don't care. I care about Phoenix next.
And then secondly, Chelsea Gray, after the Wings game, you kind of talked about Chelsea's confidence increasing a lot today. We saw some crazy stuff. Like there was almost a generational, behind the back pass. How do you?
And then a smoked layup. I'm going to get Sid for that all day. I'm going to get her.
But I guess how have you kind of seen that grown, and what's that process like coaching her through this return as it stands now?
Look, I think she's doing great. At the end of the day, it's never been her athleticism. It's been her mind and her eyes for the game and her feel for the game, her energy and joy for her teammates. And tonight, she didn't shoot very well, but she had timely ones. She hit big ones. And so that's why you roll with her. Right? Like she maybe missed, I think she was 0 for going into, and then finally hit a shot and then hits a big one. One at a time that we needed one. So that's really who she is. She likes those moments. We've all been witness to it. And it's just nice to see her getting back to, that confident and able to execute able to jump and all those things that you need to do to play basketball. She's doing great when you consider, surgery. She's not even a year out of surgery, not even close. So she's doing wonderful.
Coach, as we were walking down the hall, we wondered if Asia Wilson's 25-15
5 and 5.
0 turnovers game had ever been done before. It's been done once by Asia Wilson against Atlanta on July 12th of this year when she had 33 points, 18 rebounds, 5 blocks, 0 turnovers. So,
Yeah, I mean, that woman is something else. She's cut different. The turnovers, her care for the ball amongst, not only is she in traffic all the time, she gets double and triple teamed. And I mean, I don't know, she had like Spider-Man hands or something, like the ball just sticks. She doesn't cop that thing up easily. And she's just, to me, since I've been a part of this league, which is 99, a little hiatus in the NBA for 8 years, but come back to this league. I don't know if we've seen a season like she's doing right now. Somebody can look up some stats, but I can't recall somebody who has more steals, blocks, assists, points, and rebounds than turnovers. And it's not even close. It's not like, oh, she barely has a few more steals and assists or a few more turnovers or a few more blocks than like it's substantially more. She's just a beautiful player to watch.
Becky, too, if possible, you took a timeout early in that second quarter with the team up 29-6. To that point, Atlanta had shot 50% from the field. They shot 31% the rest of the way. Did it ever really feel like the team settled in on defense?
We were kind of figuring it out on the fly. I thought like what we adjusted and looked at halftime helped. True to form of our opponents, they go in at halftime and get all over their players to hit the boards. And they did, and the offensive rebound started to become a little bit of an issue for us again in that second half. So it's just basic stuff that we need to clean up. But we were mixing in some defenses, which we haven't done as much of, because we haven't been solid in our base a lot of times. So unless you're really airtight in your base, it's hard to throw junk out there. So we were mixing things up a lot, just trying to make looks difficult, and then we got to rebound. That's our other problem with junk or playing his own or doing what mixing up defenses is, the blocking out part. I still feel like we have a lot of room for growth there. I was super excited to see Tip have 10 boards. Like that's huge for our guards to get in there and give Asia some help, and then just everybody chipping in and doing their part. It's not about who gets the rebound; it's about us getting the rebound.
And then you kind of just spoke about it a second ago, but one home game over the next 6 outings. Does that change the method or philosophy trying to build some consistency to close the season?
No, like I said earlier, we've been crap at home, so we're happy to get these home wins. But the road has been better for us in ways than our normal home cooking. That being said, I think I think we're 1 or 2 raindrops away from making it flood. We just gotta kind of like get through. It's like that final push through until we start really kind of flowing. And so it can seem kind of like stuck in mud at times. Feels that way. I know it does for me and for them. So that dig down factor of being solid on both ends of the floor when it gets like that, that's really what I'm looking for at the end of the day. Home, away, I'm looking for solid, up to standard Aces basketball.
Before we finish up in the room, let's jump to Mike Vogel.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned what Asia is doing. You actually played against the 3 players who were 3-time MVPs with Swoops and LJ and Lisa Leslie. And I just wonder, when you look at historically comparing, Asia has a chance of probably right now is by far the front runner of joining them as a 3-time MVP. What that means historically for a player to do something like that.
I guess history is history, right? And I think I just don't want to I felt like last year, you know, y'all know how I feel about last year. Just crazy efficient. She's been doing this for 2 years in a row now, just crazy efficient. And it's just, I just don't want it to be lost on people how special this woman is. And what she's doing, like, you may not see it. You know, you're talking about 3 players over, what is this league? You know, 27, 28 years old, 3 players. And she's in a conversation for a 3rd MVP, and ain't even in her 30s yet. And every year that I've worked with her, I mean, I remember my first year, flew her down to San Antonio to get a workout. And we go in and we're working out, and I'm like, wow, you can really shoot like deep. And she was like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I never really see you shoot that. I was like, but as soon as you develop that, like, you're going to be unguardable, because if you get that consistent, she's so fast, and her second jump might be quicker than her first jump. Just getting off the floor, she just becomes a whole handful. And then, you know, come back next year, and now I'm like asking her to bring the ball up more. Like, everything that I've ever asked her to do, she just goes and does it and makes it so look easy. It is not easy what she's doing. She makes it look easy. And that's when you know you have a special player. Steph Curry shooting threes, he makes it look easy. That stuff is difficult that he's doing. And I think it's a similar, just special generational talent.
Thank you.
Last question in the back.
Coach, a lot of fans were asking about the back of your jacket. Anything special in regards to the details in the back of your jacket?
Not really. It means living or alive. Living. No, I just liked it.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Becky.
Undefeated at Becky Hammond bobblehead night.
Well,